Hey, you're welcome to today's Big Talks, the space where faith and financial prosperity blend. BIG stands for business, increase, and growth. So this is a platform from Liberty Christian Fellowship brought to you by the LCF business community, where we talk real, practical, biblical wealth. Now, if you've not yet shared the link, this is when you pause and do so that you can bring others along on the journey. As the LCF business community, our mission is to become financially prosperous, grounded in biblical principles. And how do we do that? By equipping ourselves in the stewardship of wealth, exploring not just how to get it, but how to guard it, grow it, and give it. Because when wealth is used right, it's a tool for positive impact and transformation. I'm your hostess, Irene Cafero, and joining me today is a very special, passionate, versatile lady, Celestina Oniye Thomas. I'm not even going to attempt, Celestina, to introduce you. I'm going to leave the pleasure to you, but I'm so excited for being here, for you being here. So, yeah, let's take it away.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time coming.
It has. It has. Okay, so let me introduce myself here.
Please.
So I'm Nigerian born, Nigerian born British. I'm the CEO of Floating Counselling and Floating Counselling Community. So I run a community, company, organizations, which is a counseling. We started as a counseling organization, but we believe in Abraham's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is for someone to be mentally stable.
Yeah.
The basic needs on the bottom of the hierarchy needs to be met, which is the housing, love, food, shelter, all those things needs to be met.
Yeah.
So we offer counseling, but we also support people with all those basic needs to make sure that they are grow up or they are living a rounded, holistic, positive life. So that's what we believe. And then I have my property business as well, which also allows me to be able to do a lot of my community work, because community work pays, but actually the whole point of it is not necessarily to pay that much. So having the property business allows me to be able to give back to my community, to be able to help people, and to be generous. So I guess, like you said in your thing, to grow it and give it.
Yes.
To also be able to give back to the community. But the property business allows me to be able to do that and live comfortably.
Great. So I've had counseling, I've had the community aspects and the property business. Is there anything else you do that you've not mentioned or you want to throw out there?
Yeah, but I think it also comes into one of those.
Those are the three main.
Those are the three mains, and then inside
silos.
them, there's then other things like I help people start their own business, like community business or masterclass, business coach. I also do that. I also run a holiday camp, so that's also inside the community one.
Oh.
I also run a community hub, which is a one-stop shop that helps people with the housing, benefit forms, helping them find jobs. So all of that it's inside one of those two.
Interesting. You know what? I've never seen it like that. I always see you and I'm thinking, she does this, she does that, she does that, she does that. But it's very helpful that you have like they're in discrete silos.
Yeah.
You know?
And then there's an umbrella, and then inside those umbrellas are different.
So the umbrella is floating counselling.
The umbrella is floating counselling.
And don't let the counselling fool you, because there's more to it. If you just look at floating counselling, you're like, yeah, she's a counsellor, but hey. And I like that how you said we. How does that translate? When you say we do this, we do that?
It translates because for example, the property parts, there's builders. I'm not the one building.
Yeah.
I'm the one that owns the company, and I'm the one that buys the houses, and then say, I want this there. And then I'm gone, and then let me know, and then we'll pay you, and then we'll move on. So I say we in that respect of me, the builders, and the staff that kind of works under that part of the umbrella. And then we, so in the community hub, there's different organizations that works there. So there's a we there, and then the community, and then the counseling, there's of course the counselors and the psychotherapists that works there. So there's a we there. And in the holiday camp, there's staff, seasonal staff that works with that. So there's a we in that one. So there's a we in different parts of the project and the company that I run. So there's a we. It's never I. You can't do it yourself.
So it's all different partnerships that you're either doing in partnership with other people or you're leading teams. And we know what, I'll get into the mindset and the skill behind that because it all sounds very complex. But I'm just wondering, when did you first realize that one income stream was not enough?
I think I've always known, and I think it came from my dad. He was very business minded. He was a pastor, but he also, so we had the church downstairs, and then he owned the nursery, which was upstairs. And then, of course, church is like maybe 3 times a week, but nursery is every single day, evenings, mornings, breakfast club, whatever it is. And he also owned properties. So when I was younger, I knew he owned properties because the house we lived in when I was younger, about 6 to about 10, he owned that one, and then he owned like 2 houses, which was our neighbors. But he didn't talk about how he owned those properties. He didn't talk about how we bought it, but we knew he owned it.
Yeah.
So there was more. So it was just natural that we just knew that there was multiple ways he was making money.
Okay.
And he was a lecturer, was a pastor. He wrote books. You know, there was different things that he did, but he just didn't talk about it. So for me, I think it's quite important for me to talk about it to people and to my children and to people around me, because it's one thing to know that someone does all this, but it's how do they do it?
So removing the mystery of it and just making it more obvious, because what's that sounding like is it was there, it was just the norm.
Yeah.
So you kind of as if infused it within you, but the blueprint was never obvious.
Absolutely.
So did you ever get an opportunity to
No.
to sit down with him?
No, never. Because he died when I was like 21 or 22. And I was just qualifying to be a psychotherapist. So going into business and doing my own thing wasn't even in my mind. I guess it kind of was, but because every time I worked with someone else, it was just like, this doesn't feel right. I don't like being told what to do. The way you're doing it doesn't feel right. This doesn't make sense. And then they're just like, you work here, this is what we do. And it's just like, that doesn't make sense. So I worked for, I don't even know if I should mention their name, but maybe I will, because
a certain place
I'm okay with them now. I worked with Off the Record. So when I was qualified to be a psychotherapist, the first placement and the first place I worked was Off the Record in Croydon.
Yeah.
And he was my supervisor. So I'll go in and I'll be like, oh, this is going on with this client. This is going on with this client. And he would just be like, listen to your heart. And I'm like, no, we need the practical solutions. He was like, you're a therapist, it's not your job to give solutions. Yes, but they also need tools to deal with the anxieties. Like, no, just listen to them. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I feel like I want to do more. So I always knew that everywhere I worked, it just felt like I needed more. And then I worked at a homeless shelter for mental health people who had homeless issues. And my manager was like, this is what we do. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't feel right. Yes, you can go there and say, this person has been straight homeless for all this number of years. You find them a place and you hope for the best. How are they going to sustain their housing? That makes no sense. They've been homeless for so long. They literally don't know how to clean, because when you're on the streets, you drink something, you throw it away.
Yes.
You're not washing plates.
Yes.
You're not cooking. You're not cleaning. Those are not things you do when you're on the street. So there was, every time I worked somewhere, it was just like, that doesn't make sense. This doesn't fit. This doesn't help the clients enough. So for me, when I was starting my own company, it was like, I wanted to embed all of that of holistic. I wanted to give them counseling, which is what we did at Off the Record.
Yeah.
But actually the practical solution of, can they keep a house? Can they sustain their tenancy? Do they know how to pay bills? Do they even know how to wash plates? The basic things. Do they know council tax and all these things? I wanted to really embed it in what I did.
Okay. That's interesting and very insightful, because then it sounds like your evolution was really out of necessity, and then one block led to another. But it also speaks to how you didn't just stay in a place because, let me just stay here and keep the peace. It's like, no, this needs to be solved, and I'm going to be the solution. I'm going to find the solution for this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that.
Great. It makes me think what problems we have, what problems are out there that need a solution. But then who sorts out a solution by setting up a company?
Me.
Celestina.
Me.
Okay, let's move on to the money in a way, because companies set solutions, really inevitably we get onto the money. And I'm quite curious, what tools, what's one rule, one or two rules, what do you never break in about money? What rules do you never break concerning money?
I don't know if I don't break any rules concerning money. That's a good question, you know. I've never thought about that. What do I not break about money? I think you're going to have to give me some suggestions.
Some suggestions.
Like, explain that a bit more.
It goes to when you've set up a company.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you want to make a profit. Yeah? But remember, you're trying to solve problems.
Yeah.
You have different aspects, different people to satisfy. Everyone has their own priorities. You also have the priorities for your mission, but also for the profit margin. And then it ends up being money comes in inevitably. So yeah, are we going to shoot the costs in and forget about the profit? Are we going to compromise some? I don't know. Let me not lead you too much.
I don't focus on money.
I like the sound of that.
I also don't help people start a business that focuses on money.
Yeah.
And when I'm coaching someone on their business or their project, and I see that they focus on money, I terminate that support that I give them.
Interesting.
Because it shouldn't be about money, it should be about what solution do you solve, and the money will come. If you can solve a solution, if you can help someone, the money will come. And I feel like God doesn't want us to focus on money. I feel like that's where it says in the Bible, the root of all evil is money, but it doesn't mean money is the love of money. Money's not bad, but if you're chasing money, that becomes bad. That becomes the problem.
Totally agree.
Or, you know, when people get into a relationship and they just want to get married, are you thinking of how you can benefit someone and raise a family who then brings children into this world who are able to benefit the world? Or just, I want to get married. No. God wants us to get married and have children. But if your focus is, I want to get married, for what reason?
To what end?
So if you're chasing money, that no, there's so many great opportunities that I've been in that as soon as I see that they are chasing money and it's not for the people, I'm like, I wish you all the best, I'm out of it. And you know, one of those where I've literally been like, this is no longer about how do we solve and help people. It's now become money and I'm out of it. I wish you all the best. I have no animosity towards you, but I've gone. There was also another time when I was a director on a TV show and it was going to be great. And I realized, and they wanted to also start a food bank and all these things. And I realized it became, okay, so how much can we get? I was like, okay, who are you trying to help first? No. So if let's just see what money we can get, and then we'll see who we can. I wish you guys all the best.
I'm out.
I sent in my resignation. I'm out of it. So I'm never about money.
I like that. I like how leading with value and with mission, because it's all about it's the transformation you want to see that drives you and drives what you do. And it's not even about you. From conversations I've had with you, I like how you end up putting it to what am I here on earth for?
Yeah.
Where has God placed me? Where He's placed me? To what end?
Absolutely, we have no idea how many years or days we have left in this world.
Yeah.
But once you're gone, that money is not coming with you, but the impact you've been able to make in people's lives and the purpose God has put you in this world, that should be able to be the blueprint. Your money is not going to be your blueprint. Once that's gone, someone else is going to take that money. And I learned that like I said, my dad had multiple businesses and properties and whatever. And when he was dead, his wife was like, oh, my. That money doesn't go with him.
Yes.
That doesn't go, that money and the investment he did and all that work didn't even go to the people he wanted it to. He went to whoever he was married to at that time, and that was his wife, and the rest of us just had to figure it out. So for me, I think very early on, especially when my dad died at 2021, it was like, maybe I was 21, 22, I can't remember. I was 20, early 20 something. It was like, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're not going to take that with you.
Yes.
You can't. But the impact you've made in people's lives. Till today, I still have people who contact me to say, this is the impact your dad made in my life. It's not about the money he made.
So that's the true wealth.
That's the true wealth for me. The impact you make. And some people say that's a bit, I'm privileged to be able to say that, people say, but I'm like, but I wasn't always privileged, but I still saw it like that. So for me, that's clearly just shows to me that it works. Not focusing on money works.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I want to take it to the place where we're serving community, we're solving problems, and it's not about the money like we've established, but at the end of the day,
Money matters.
we live in a capitalist society, right? We have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
We have to pay for the premises. We have to pay the staff, all those things. And I'm wondering what funds this purpose? What funds your mission? Does the income fund the mission, or does the,
So I can take you through what I did
Thank you.
and what I also help people do.
Yes.
We live in UK.
Yeah.
If you're a UK citizen, stay on benefit, build yourself, don't expand more than you need to expand. Floating Counselling owns properties all over UK, but we don't necessarily have a base. Why would I then? I mean, I do plan to do that this year, because I think we're not at the place where it's important to have a base, because last year when we're looking at our finances and all the rent we had to pay for the holiday camp and all these things, it was no longer making sense to not have a base. So when it no longer makes sense, then have a base.
Okay.
But I feel like people start their business, they get an office. For what? You have no money coming in. Why do you have an office? For what? I mean, COVID taught us we don't necessarily need the office.
Yes.
So you can absolutely do your work, reduce the outgoing, maximize your income, and then when you need to expand, then expand. I do a lot of the work. If I need to hire someone, then I hire them because I need to. Not because I want to be like, I've got 50 staff. I've got nothing to prove to no one.
Okay, so you self-serve
Yeah.
primarily,
And then
until
grow
it
on
makes.
that until you need to, and then expand and expand and expand.
What's that until you need to? What does that look like? What are the signals that now I need to invest? Now I need to get property to have a base. Now I need to bring someone else on.
When it starts to feel too tight and uncomfortable to continue. So, for example, with the holiday camp, I physically need staff because to run that project, I need, depending on the ratio of children I have 50 children, I need about 8 staff.
Yeah.
Because we are a counseling organization, I need about 10, 12 just to make sure that we're really able to support the children really well, as opposed to there's like 50 of them, they've got 3. I mean, legally we can survive on 3 staff. Yeah. I just prefer to have a lot more because I want eyes on the children, for the quality. I want them not to feel like they're in class, and because one child is distracted now the rest of them have been abandoned. So for me personally, that is when I need more than me and my husband. Because now I want the quality, so I need it for that. But that doesn't mean I then hire them for the rest of the year. I hire them for that season.
Seasonal.
I hire them for a week, for a month and a half. I pay them, and then I'll see them next year again.
Yeah.
So there's no point in spending money and saying, oh, I have 50 staff, when actually I don't need 50 staff. I might, if you count them throughout the year, it might be the fact that maybe this year I did hire 50 staff, but not continuously.
Yeah.
I hired them for a season. The same thing with my psychotherapist. I hire them to see that clients. I'm not hiring them full time to sit in the office when we don't have clients to see. You're hired for that 1 hour, you're going to see that client. If you have 10 clients, then you're hired for 10 hours in a week or in a month or whatever it is. So you expand when you have to expand. And I only don't see. So for example, I've had people who want counseling, but I know them. So I legally cannot see them ethically. I can't see the people that I know.
Yeah.
So I need to hire somebody else for those reasons.
Yeah.
So you only expand when you have to expand. For me, we need a venue because now it's costing us more not having a venue for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not having to hire and rent, and now because we're doing so many projects all the time now, that now we're spending so much money hiring, which just doesn't make sense.
Okay. Side note, give us a sneak preview. Where's this? Where are you looking, or is that trade
I
secrets?
definitely I want to stay in Croydon, and because I'm a co-chair of a locality in Croydon, I want to stay in that locality.
Yeah.
Because going to a different locality again is their purpose in expanding. If there's no reason to expand, then just stay where you are, grow that, and then obviously move somewhere else.
Scale.
Yes, scale up. And also, there's nothing wrong with partnership. I'm a massive advocate of partnership, as you know.
Yeah.
So there's other organizations, different places that I have partnered with to be running some of my projects. So they will potentially lead it. It will be my framework, and then we'll get funding together to run it, but they will be running it. So I'm expanding. Yeah. For example, I've been from Uganda. She's in Redbridge. She runs an ESOL classes. She also teaches people how to get level 4 and level 5 in health and social care. She came to me to get funding. Oh, you referred there. What am I talking about?
Did I?
I think somebody that was
Someone I referred her.
Yes, I think it was like a
someone,
3 or 4 chains from you.
See, make those referrals, people. You just don't know when the magic is gonna happen, right?
Now we're doing a partnership, and the partnership is a mental health well-being, where she'll be teaching people who from asylum seekers, who English is not their first language, ESOL, and then I'll be coming in to deliver mental health. So now we've started a floating community hub in Redbridge, where it will be more centered around women's well-being. Yeah. So she'll be running the ESOL classes every single 4 times a week, and I'll be coming in once a month to deliver a mental health project. So expand when you need to. Yeah. There's no need in me going, I'm going to start a whole new project in Redbridge. If somebody's in Redbridge doing it, partner with them. Yeah. Let them. Yeah. You continue doing what you're doing. Expand when you have to, because you're going to stretch yourself too much, and you're not going to be able to sustain that.
I like how the organicness, for lack of a better word, the organicness of that, because there's this whole, I want to be big. I want to be all over London. Let me have a strategy for Redbridge and Croydon and Bromley and up in North London. It's like, for what end?
Yeah.
Start small, perfect this. And you also said another word in there, framework. Develop the framework and then springboard off that framework to grow roots and branches.
That's what I've been able to do.
And that's how multiple income streams. I know I keep going back to the money because we are trying to get it.
Absolutely.
That's how the multiple income streams are birthed.
Yeah.
Organic, one step at a time, get this right and build on. Like it's a bit like stacking them.
It is.
But I want to hear that your mind for what makes it possible for you to think, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to add this layer. And also the planning. You've talked about seasonal stuff in there. You've talked about different silos. It's just one person. It's just one woman, you. Yeah? How do you do that with the planning and the mind?
I've had coaching. I still have coaching with very well-known people. So I think it's very important for people to surround yourself with people who, whether friends or family, who, there's a saying that says, if you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room.
If you're the smartest in the room, you're what?
In the wrong room. Get out of that room because you're in the wrong room. If you're surrounded by people who are always like, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing, there's nothing else that they think, oh, you could have done better. There's nothing wrong with that. But if those are the only people you have around you, because you also need those cheerleaders, you also need people who see the greatness in you, who see the good things you're doing. If you only have people who are nitpicking, then it becomes, oh my gosh, am I even?
So get out of the room, or at least leave one foot there.
Surround yourself with not just that room. If that's the only room you're always in, then
it's not going to do you any good.
It's not going to do. You're not going to grow. You're not going to expand. It's like our muscles, you know, when you're lifting weights or gym, it hurts a little bit, and that's because your muscles expanding. So it needs to get a bit uncomfortable. If you're always comfortable, you're the smartest, everything is smooth sailing, you're not going to grow from that. You need to grow from a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
And there's a saying, I think it's probably in the Bible. You guys can let me know. That the Lord will light my footsteps.
The Lord will light my footsteps?
Something like that.
The Lord, His word is a lamp unto my feet? No. The Lord directs your footsteps. Man plans his ways, but God directs.
Yeah.
Man plans, but it's God who directs our footsteps.
Yeah, it's God that directs our footsteps. And I think it's important that what feels right for somebody else might not be for you. So, and God communicates to us in so many different ways.
Oh, yes.
So if I'm feeling uncomfortable somewhere, I need to really check that. Is it that God is telling me, get out of it? Or God is telling me something massive and amazing is coming out of this. Stay and see it through. And I think sometimes people make the wrong decisions. It's like, it's uncomfortable, so I'm going to jump ship. Or it's uncomfortable, so I'm going to stay. No. Is that what God wants you to do? You know, is God lighting your footsteps? Is God directing your footsteps? Or now you're making decisions by yourself? So I think it's really important that people check and they go back. I mean, in our church, we're reading Joshua at the moment, and I can't quite remember, but there was one part when they inquired of God and they won the battles, but then they won like 2 battles, and then they were like, oh yeah, and the next one they didn't even check with God, and they lost that. So it's like, just because you think, yes, I'm great, yes, I know what I'm doing, yes, I've succeeded a few times, that doesn't mean stop checking from God and be like, am I still going the right way? Or do you want me to stop and go back? Or where do you want me to go? Yeah. So always check. So it's great that we're doing this, but I think, again, take what I've gone through and what you've gone through and what you were sharing, but then go back and check with God. You know, what steps am I supposed to take as well? I think that's quite important.
That's true. So it's the checks and the balances.
The check and the balance.
Yeah.
It's like, do the work, do the coaching. I definitely advocate. I'm a massive advocate for coaches. Yes, I am a business coach as well, but I also have people who have coached me and who have allowed me to know, oh, I didn't know that was possible. Oh, I didn't know this was possible. So surround yourself with people like that, either mentoring, coaches, but also people around you. Let them not be people who are just like nitpicking all the time, but don't always surround yourself with people who see the good that you're doing. Let there be a balance.
Yeah. I feel I need to distill that a bit, or like summarize it. So one of the things is coaching, mentoring, environment.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've had. And then the other thing I've had is about who you listen to, who's speaking into what you're doing, and is God the ultimate guide? You know, it's the checks and balances you get from God. But then there's also something about the discomfort. Not always going for the comfort zone. So sticking with the discomfort and saying and picking on it, what does it mean? And then that leads you towards the growth area, the growth zone.
So on the last part, I will share something personal that is still currently happening actually.